solid and brought it to the NBA. It is the same game multi-tracker. All in the one place. It's the best way to track your favourite player live during the game all day, every day, and all in the same place. You can stay in the Sportsbet app, watch the game live and see how your same game multi is faring. There's plenty of NBA games over the course of the next few weeks, so get on the Sportsbet app and enjoy the hoops.
Chances are you're about to lose. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
For the second year in a row, Santa shares Christmas Day with the NBL. It's Sydney, it's Illawarra, and it's on at Kudos Bank Arena.
Oh, wow. This turned into a track meet all of a sudden, and Illawarra can't keep up with it. You got to slow down the pace.
Clark, the kick out for Lee.
Had to happen.
Harvey again. Tyler Harvey.
This is a Christmas special and we love it.
It's a Christmas cracker. The Hawks celebrate. They've beaten Big Brother.
Merry Christmas, dog.
That was Christmas night. Now it's New Year's Eve and we are starting the party early. Hungry Jack's NBL double header is going to light up your night. Starting in Wollongong, later it's Cairns. But first up, the Hawks and the 36ers. Like Gary Clark, the Hawks are rolling and they meet Adelaide for the second time this season. It was the 36ers by 9 in October, but they are two very different teams now. This is the Wynn Entertainment Centre in Wollongong, or the Sandpit, where the fans have bought their spades and shovels, hoping to bury Adelaide. They're buried at the bottom of the ladder, one position behind Illawarra, but both teams, both clubs are still very close to that play-in bracket. Good evening, everybody. My name is Matt Russell. Great to be sharing New Year's Eve with you. And tonight, let's call it the Interim Coaches Cup, because Justin Tatum and Scott Ninnis are head-to-head for the first time since taking over. They have had their moments, but especially the Illawarra Hawks coach, and he's part of the reason why the Hawks are set to have their biggest crowd, a sellout for the first time in the regular season since 2009. They love that they are 4-2 under Coach Tatum, that his team is fighting. Even in defeat against Tasmania, they fought back to win the second half, and of course they came from 18 points down to beat the arch rivals, the Kings, on Christmas night. He walks like a coach, he talks like a coach, and there are plenty of fans here who say it's time to make him your permanent head coach, Illawarra Hawks. As we say compliments of the season to Pete Hooley, Liam Santamaria and John Casey. What do you three think?
Oh, thanks very much, Matty, and season's greetings to you and to all our viewers as well. What's not to like about this? Last year, the Hawks 3-25, the wooden spoon, their worst ever record. Come round 9, they were still last with a 2-7 record, and now Justin Tatum has won 4 out of 6 by an average of 13 points, getting it all done. I think sign him up right now.
It makes a lot of sense, Case. They would have to be talking about that and thinking about it. Look at the numbers. It has been a miraculous turnaround. He's brought a lot of energy to this group since the beginning of round 8 when Tatum took over. They're now top 2 in both offensive and defensive efficiency during that span. So it's all going very well for Tatum and the Hawks.
And Lockie Albrecht, didn't he turn it on against the Sydney Kings as well? He's been in outstanding form. We know a lot about him being from Adelaide. He was a championship winner in the NBL1 Central with the West Adelaide Bearcats last season. Turned 20 yesterday. Huge upside, Pete Hall.
Oh, it's massive, isn't it? He was the X-factor in this game, and they were looked down and out, and then Lockie Albrecht, other players stepped up, and he was enormous, doing basically everything. He was getting out, getting some steals, getting offensive rebounds, extra possessions, and again, what he could potentially become as his career gets a little bit longer, I'm really excited to see, and of course, it's an Adelaide boy. Want to see him go as far as possible.
You are pumped, and we know that Justin Robinson is going to be pumped as well. When these teams met back in round 3 11 weeks ago, he said it was his worst ever performance as a pro.
Yeah, geez, it can't get much worse. 1 of 15, he was really struggling, and I think he's put a lot of pressure on himself this season, really struggling to shoot the outside ball, that's for sure. And the way they're rolling, the way that Gary Clark, Sam Froling, Tyler Harvey are doing their thing, I think he can start to take a back seat, facilitate a little bit more, and find that consistent form, which will help him and the Hawks going forward.
Scott Ninnis has had 4 games as the interim head coach, 1 win, 3 losses by double figures, so they still have some room for improvement.
They do. He said we're not going to stand for mediocrity, so he's looking for a bounce back performance from his squad, and to do that they're going to need to make sure they get Isaac Humphries heavily involved. They look good when they establish Humphries as a force on the interior early and often. He had 24 points against Perth. Over their last 4 games, he's averaged 19 points per game at around 61% from the field. So it makes a lot of sense to find him, Hulls, and find him early.
Yeah, it does. And they look like a different team, and they've struggled to score the ball consistently throughout the season, but it's pretty... As soon as you get him the rock down low in his position, he seems unstoppable. Just missed 4 shots in that game against Perth.
Been outstanding. We take a look at the starting 5. There you see it for the Hawks. It's Harvey, Robinson, Clark, Swakalabulik and Froling getting the job done. 4-point winners over Sydney in their last start. No reason to change. Adelaide coming off that 18-point loss to Perth on Thursday night. Well, they are going with the same starting 5 as well. Coach Ninnis says he wants to keep some stability and get people liking their roles. I know there's been talk about mixing it up a little bit, but Adelaide are going as they finished against the Wildcats. We are set to go New Year's Eve, the first of a doubleheader. Great to have your company here in the Hungry Jacks NBL tip-off. And it is Adelaide. Their wide strip control the tip, will have first chance to score. As Trey Kell is outside. Flowers with a first look. It's off the mark.
Swakalabulik, no surprise, he's got the matchup on Dejan Vasiljevic, who the Hawks will be focused on keeping under wraps.
Robinson hands over. Harvey gets going quickly. He's off the front of the rim. Wrestle for the rebound comes to Humphries.
Oh, that's a bit of a scouting report right there, isn't it? I think both Tatum and the Hawks looked at the way they defended a lot of stuff with Bryce Cotton and got Tyler Harvey a wide open look. Dodge a bullet there at the start. The Adelaide 36ers, Tyler Harvey, has been playing really well lately. He sees one go down on that first shot. It could be a long night. Vasiljevic is going to be hounded all night by that man right there.
Humphries hands over. Wiley. Vasiljevic gets it again. Sides the floater. It's off the front of the rim as well. So Adelaide, none of 3 to start the game. Flowers with another opportunity. That wouldn't work. Wiley eventually open scoring.
Good hands from Vasiljevic. Good energy and activity. They stuck with the play. Won back the ball and open proceedings on the scoreboard.
Clark shares it across. Swakalabulik with it now. Stagnant offense at the moment for the Hawks. Not a lot of movement, so Robinson fires. It was a good option as the Hawks come up with their first score.
It's going to feel good for the Hawks, but especially Robinson just shooting 29% from 3. And the eyes should light up right now. If you're Robinson and Tyler Harvey, that drops coverage. We saw that Bryce Cotton just tore it apart in that third quarter, where Adelaide has scored 9 points. It's going to be there all night long.
So Adelaide 1 of 6 from the field. Slow start for them inside the first 2 minutes from the Win Entertainment Centre in Wollongong. Hang on with the dribble there. Swakalabulik couldn't get it done, but came back with a good second effort. Dislodged the ball and a chance for the Hawks to reset here. Robinson just rolls it down low. Shot clock into red numbers now. They share it around once more. And off the mark this time, Robinson. Floor. Foul going to be called here on the Hawks. Robinson with the first foul of the game.
We saw a picture of the ladder before we came into the opening tip. Here you see Robinson taking advantage from long range, the defense slipping under. So it's last versus second last. So you think, all right, well, what are we going to get here? It's a big game. Wow, this is a big game. You look at how close the standings are as Trey Kell finishes through the contact. Good energy from Wiley and the 36ers, but Halls, we look at the standings, it's so closely congested. If one of these, if the Hawks can keep rolling, or if the 36ers can start to find some form, they're still in the mix.
And again, I know that we keep talking about how the Breakers starting to string some wins together. Obviously the Hawks, and they're in this one, but all the teams, Phoenix, the Taipans, just dropping a couple consecutively at times, and that's when you're at the bottom of the ladder. That's what you like to see.
Adelaide back on top, thanks to Trey Kell.
It's also the beauty of the playing tournament, isn't it? Because no longer are you trying to just get to the top 4, which would be out of the realm of possibility for both of these teams. Most likely, there's Isaac Humphries at his very best. You just got to hope that you can claw into its way to 6th. You get to 6th, you're playing your best basketball. Doesn't matter what happened in the rest of the season. Come playoff time, and all of a sudden you A real chance.
And a win here for the Hawks, and they are joint 6th, just outside on percentage.
Yeah, I mean, that's how close it is. There's the turnover. Gary Clark, that was just a little bit too hot for Tyler Harvey. And to be honest, I mean, they're the team, the Hawks, out of these two who's showing those kind of signs. Now, the 36 is still very much up and down, but the Hawks, since Tatum took over, have been consistently playing at a very high level.
Sidovic exploring, nothing on offer. Uses trade Kell. Shot clock rolls to red digits now. He spins into the bank. Ball away from Kell. Off the mark. Humphries, the O board, couldn't get enough on the shot.
Third offensive rebound already for Adelaide.
6-5 overall. They lead the rebound count. Here's Froling. He goes to work, but unsuccessfully. So the Hawks have cooled off here. 1 of 6 themselves. After Robinson knocked down the first shot. Wiley. Extra pass to Humphries for the finishing touches here, and Adelaide has scored the last 6.
A little hot potato action there. That was beautiful. All getting through hands, everybody moving at the same time. And that's going to be a foul on Trey Kell. Just put the brakes on.
Let's get courtside to Matt Russell.
Yeah, Hawks fans are wondering whether their team can get Tyler Harvey going earlier. He said this week that belief is through the roof. His 4 made threes against Adelaide on average are his most against any opposition, and 15 points is the magic figure this season for Tyler Harvey. When he gets to 15 and above, the Hawks are 6-2. When he's kept under 15, they're 0-7. So Hawks fans are craving 15 from Tyler tonight.
It's Vasiljevic, and understandably why, Matty. He actually led the Hawks in scoring 16 times last season, and just 4 this season. That's been the evolution and the changing role that he's had.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things Justin Tatum's done really well. Firstly, they're last in the league in turnover percentage since he took over. So they're looking after the rock. That's the first thing that's changed. They're being much better defensively, but unlocking Tyler Harvey has been a big part of it. Getting him involved, getting him in the spots that he likes to operate in, and you know, he's been in double digits in each of his past 4 games.
And I think a lot of that came from the fact that all of a sudden we were asking, where's that consistency from Sam Froling and even Gary Clark? And they've almost become the focal point as they get it back to order. Gary Clark right here, and even the game against the Phoenix in Traralgon a few weeks ago, and you saw Tyler Harvey exploded in the first half, but then both Froling and Gary Clark just went to work in the second, and almost like, okay, let's make the big fellas the point of emphasis offensively, and Tyler Harvey will get him going at times, and they became more efficient. And they put points on the board at will.
Oh, Flowers dispossessed by Blanchfield, who wants to get up the floor quickly. Transition was good there. And rewarded with the hard running is Froling, who, as you can see, got some claret streaming there after grabbing the O-board with getting the putback.
Might have got that down the other end. Here's the Harvey Norman replay. It's the backdoor lob. The bullet to Clark. They've ran that a couple of times. Look at it here. Cops a nice little elbow there from Flowers. And to be honest, barely flinches.
Barely flinched.
He's looked good. Sam Froling, and you mentioned all the numbers, but there's already been 5 offensive rebounds in this game, and we're already seeing that's an issue for the Hawks, who are an outstanding offensive rebound team themselves, 4th in the league in that, but they're 2nd last in defensive boards. So for all the good work they do on one end, they struggle to clean up and keep teams to 1 shot, which could come to hurt them as this season progresses.
So much merit about their win against the Kings, snapping an 8-game losing streak against the inverted commas big brother. But, you know, to come back from 18 down in the second quarter on their floor says a lot about the belief of what this team has got. And Sam Froling's been a big part of that all season, averaging 15 a game to lead this team in scoring, 2nd in the league in rebounding, 55% from the field as well. He's been fantastic.
He has. He really has. I mean, in my book, he's the leader for that Next Gen award right now, which is no surprise. He probably would have expected that coming into the season, but he's taken another step forward this year. And, you know, he's starting to establish himself as a star, as their main man in the middle, there at the Hawks, having some big performances. He was huge against the Kings on Christmas Day.
And I think a lot of that would have been the conversation. Justin Tatum said it on one of the shows a couple of weeks ago when we were talking to him, how he, when he took over, said that I want to make you one of those main guys. And I think that was our criticism of Sam Froling the last couple of years, is he was okay, it's Tyler Harvey's team, I'll fill my role, I'll just be really solid. When now we're seeing you are the star of this team. And when you're rolling and aggressive, the Hawks look good, but he looks unstoppable at times. Can put the ball on the floor, finish with both hands, and it's fun to watch.
So you've got him ahead of Jalen Galloway in Sydney.
Yeah, I do.
Got him ahead of a Bobby Clinton up in Cairns.
Luke Travers is another one.
Luke Travers has been very good. Josh Bannon is a guy who's maybe flying a little under the radar.
Very much
playing at a high level at a young age. But I think Sam Froling, at a consistent rate, is starting to establish himself, I think, as the clubhouse leader.
Oh, I think you're right. Another emerging talent is Lockie Albrick, and Matty Russell caught up with him pre-game.
Well, Lockie Albrick, happy birthday. How did you celebrate turning 20 yesterday? A teenager no more.
Oh, feels the same, but you know, just sat down with my family at home and just kind of watched basketball. So that's a good way of spending it.
And you gave fans a present before your birthday with that performance on Christmas night. 9 points, 10 rebounds. What sparked that breakout game?
I think I was just stayed ready and kind of, you know, gave it my all when I was out there, and definitely got some lucky bounces with the rebounds, and my teammates helped me with most of my points, so really got to give it to them.
Who are some of the Hawks who are having a big influence on you this season?
I think a lot of the teammates, a lot of my teammates are, say, you know, Gary Clark, give me that NBA experience and, you know, just wisdom from him, and, you know, Sam Froling's great captain and leader for us, so it's like every one of them's had something to do with me, so really grateful for all of them.
He's the one that slipped through the fingers of the Adelaide 36ers.
Oh, I didn't think you were going to say it, Case.
3 games as a DP before he went over to the University of California, Riverside.
There's a couple on that list.
There is a couple on that list. Your name features, of course.
Oh, I love it, but also I think it's a testament to this man right here, of Justin Tatum, saying, look, there might be different contributors coming off the bench in different games. We hadn't seen that breakout game for a while now from Lockie Albrick. We know he's capable of it, but he thought, okay, there's a chance here against the Sydney Kings to come in and do something, and then rewarded him in that game. And other times it's been the man next to him, Hyung-Jong Lee. We've seen Todd Blanchfield sprinkle in here and there, whether it's Bales, AJ Johnson come in for some big minutes, and that's a credit to Justin Tatum. And you see that from the bench, right? Even the first possession. Everyone's up and in, because you just never know. It might be my time tonight.
Exactly. Average 21 points, 9 boards in NBL1 Central in that championship winning team. Lockie Albrick, he can do it all. Just a slight delay here while we attend to the blood. It does seem that Sam Froling has lost quite a deal of claret there.
Indeed. Shades of Tony Ronaldson there for a moment as he had it pouring down his face as he stepped off the floor. When you talk about Lockie Albrick, you credit Justin Tatum for, you know, getting him going in this last little bit. Also shout out Matt Campbell and the former head coach Jacob Jackomas as well, because they're the guys who signed him into the league. They're the guys who said, all right, you know what, we're going to prioritise him in free agency. We recognise his talent coming back from UC Riverside. We're going to get that done. Now, he showed a little bit in pre-season. He wasn't getting a lot of run, and certainly he had a breakout game the other day, but they've got a bright young talent on their hands.
Sure have. And to further our discussion about Justin Tatum as an interim, or perhaps the next head coach, Gary Clark made some interesting observations when he was asked about the new coach.
You know, he was a part of, you know, some of the early days of, you know, us struggling. He was the first person that called me when I was, before I had even considered coming to Australia. He's kind of one that pushed the envelope for me to, like, go ahead and, you know, like, maybe let me look at this a little bit differently, because just the way he talked, you know, his education on the game, and, you know, his genuineness was like what struck right away. That I was like, okay, since he's had the job, it's, you know, I'm happy for him. He just has a poise about him that, you know, we all can kind of settle down in the midst of a storm, and just, you know, him being very honest with what he wants and expects on both ends, and not sugarcoating it.
A great deal of experience talking there. 4 years in the NBA, 177 games at 5 different clubs for Gary Clark, championship winner in the G League. He's seen a lot, and obviously to get that sort of feedback, very impressive.
Well, it's a good point, isn't it? I mean, again, we keep talking about this vibe going around Illawarra. Everybody's up and about. The stadium's full. Everybody's looking forward to seeing what this team can do the back half of the season. But our man, Corey Homicide, with him, he's still tuning into every game, right? I saw his tweet the other day saying about don't listen to the critics who say it's not time to sign this man, do it now, because you don't want him to leave the country unsigned. Well, I don't think that's going to happen, but also, as he says, the price is going up every win, but also the team he's playing against right now, Scott Ninnis, the interim coach, looking for a coach next year. When you see the kind of spirit this team's playing with and what they're putting together, you don't want to get into any kind of bidding war with that either.
It's Trey Curl off the front of the rim. This ball, and reeled back in. Some chance for the Hawks to retake the lead here. They've scored the last 4 points inside the last 5 minutes of this opening quarter. Top of the key, Blanchard sets his feet and does just that to put Illawarra back on top.
Good action, inside out. Go to Gary Clark in the block. He's a willing passer. Kicks it out to Blanchfield, open on the arc.
So after Adelaide scored 6 unanswered points, the Hawks have answered with 7 unanswered points of their own. And I guess we should also point out the fact that Trevor Gleeson going to the NBA in the last 7 days has also released some of the pressure off these two, in the sense that he was high on the list of prospective head coaches for both these teams next year. Now he's no longer to be on that list.
For sure. Phone calls will definitely have been made, and what they could like to go, there's Isaac Humphries. That's what he can do really well. But that 3 possession from Todd Blanchfield, you're talking about, Liam, that's tough action because it's both Harvey and Blanchfield in that, right? So that's the kind of issue, concerns we have with Adelaide right now on the defensive end. Just you fall asleep for a split second guarding a knockdown shooter like Todd Blanchfield. He makes you pay. And there's Mason Peatling putting the ball on the floor for an easy 2.
So seesawing affair here at the Wynn Entertainment Centre in Wollongong. Still on the play as well. And Swaka Bullock has picked up the foul, going to be his second. Already Robinson sitting down with 2 fouls, and Adelaide has 2 fouls as a team.
So Swaka Bullock, as you say, he sits down now. Huang Jung Lee comes in, and his job now is to guard Dejan Vasiljevic. There's the ball right now. He's got a big job to do.
Stepping back. Can't connect. So Vasiljevic on a 4 from the field now. 1 from deep, and a chance for the Hawks to expand a 2-point buffer. It's Harvey going solo. He's off the mark. So he's none of 4 from the field now. 3.5 left in this opening quarter. They go to Humphries. He's got 8 of Adelaide's 12 so far.
Doing all the early work. Isn't he, Isaac Humphries? Sees whatever's happening on the other side of the floor, knows that if he does the early work and gets deep with a nice seal, they're rewarding him. And that's what they need to do. A lot of time when everyone says that Isaac Humphries goes missing, it's not so much he goes missing, he's there. You've just got to reward him so that he does it every single time down the floor.
With a pass picked off by Mason Peatling. He did a good job to come up with the 2 as well in a busted play. Let's go courtside for an update from Matty Russell.
Yeah, Trey Curl off the mark there, but Sam Froling ran up and down the floor, unaware he'd been split on the forehead. He's currently in the locker room as Huang Jung Lee finds Peatling. Sam Froling has had stitches applied to his forehead. He's been cleared of anything more serious. He'll be back out to start their second quarter. They're made of tough stuff, the Frolings, and importantly so for the Hawks. He's their leading scorer and rebounder case.
He is. He's so important to them, so that's good news that he's going to be back in the very near future. But they are tough, the Frolings.
Here's what you were talking about, Hills. Watch Isaac Humphries, the sealer. That's the little duck in at the perfect time in the middle of the paint. And Scott Ninnis has his guys on the perimeter. Trey Cowell, Dejan Vasiljevic, he's got them aware of the need to look for Humphries. Keep your eyes up, because when he does duck in and seal up, we want him to get the rock.
Mitch McCarron onto the floor for the first time for Adelaide. He's looking in the Humphries direction. No passing lane initially, but goes via Marshall. Works on Ulbrich. Humphries muscling in from close range. Can't finish it. And Peatling grabs the rebound.
It's good work there from Ulbrich. Making him catch it almost on the 3-point line. They kind of missed him early. The timing was all off on that little flex screen. I think that he had to do a whole lot of work as Lee steps into that one. That's no good.
Chance for Adelaide. Just to edge a little closer here. They go to Humphrey, he's stripped of it. Tyler Harvey knew what was coming next. Snatched it away, goes to Lee, works inside Marshall. Euro stepping into the paint. They have to reset. This is Harvey, got it from Peatling. Just over 90 seconds left on the clock in this opening quarter. Harvey fouled in the process and earns a trip to the free throw line.
I just love the poise. from the Hawks there in transition. Great steal from Harvey. Here's the push. They didn't force anything. Hwang Jung Lee didn't force anything on the attack. They're protecting the ball. They're looking after it. They're taking good shots. And Tyler Harvey, as a result, gets to the free throw line.
Another possession where Tyler Harvey stole it off Isaac Humphries. He's rolling right now, but when he's getting to the right spot, just bringing the ball down, just throwing it into him when nothing else is set and no one else in the right spot. Mitch McCarron was on that strong side, which allowed Tyler Harvey just to come and steal it from behind. Still trying to get that body and player movement and understand that, as Liam pointed out, he's going to seal, he's going to get the position he needs to. Just be a little bit more patient.
First free throws of the game for the Hawks. 2 of 2 for Harvey, who now sits down. And a travelling violation called on Adelaide. They turn it over for the 4th time in this opening quarter. The Hawks just won in that category.
Good ball pressure. Blanchfield up and in, taking away the passing angles.
Delay 5, delay 5. Delay 5.
On a 15-4 run here, the Hawks, in the last 5 minutes. It's dried up for Adelaide at the offensive end, where they're 6 of 18. The Hawks just being a little more efficient with it. Lee bounces into Wiley. Back to Pete Ling. Wild pass.
So right now, Jacob Wiley, the only starter on the floor, 36. Sunday Jets checks into the game. We haven't seen a whole lot of him. We thought we might see a little bit more against Perth to go against Bryce Cotton.
Hawks with 5 bench players on the floor at this moment as well. This is Marshall. It's inside Johnson. Goes back to Wiley. McCarron. Shot clock rolling down now. Works to 5. Marshall, nothing on offer. Wiley going to have to be creative here. Got to the elbow. Rush shot. Couldn't get it over the front of the rim. 6 of 19 at 32% for Adelaide. Johnson bumped as he runs to the rack and is off to the strike.
And I think these are the minutes right now where I know Vasiljevic has started 0-4, but if you want to get some rest to Isaac Humphries, I'll be using this time to say, okay, well, leave him out there and kind of try and get him going. Run some plays for him off the ball, try and free him up. We see a whole lot in the first quarter, and we saw it in the third quarter, especially against Perth, is that ball sticks. That ball sticks. Rather than running plays for your shooters, that ball sticks and everyone tries to go one-on-one and try and make something happen, because that offensive set got down to the last second and Jacob Wiley in the end got a pretty decent look, but they got nothing out of it for the 23 seconds before that.
Johnson 5 of 6 at 83% from the stripe coming into this game. Failed to score in the 4 minutes that he played against Adelaide when they met back in round 3. And he's on the board here, and the margin continues to grow out to a game-high 7-point margin now for the Hawks after Adelaide led by 5 inside the first 4 minutes. We'd like a high percentage play here. Starling. Now Sunday Detch. Goes back to Starling, baseline, working on Pete Ling. Tough shot, good D again from the Hawks. Closed them down, Albrecht. Pete Ling goes to Johnson for the last play of this opening quarter. Outside shot wouldn't fall. Starling from Marshall. He just works inside the 3-point line. It's after the event, and the Adelaide 36 is restricted to their lowest scoring opening quarter of the season here, and it's the Hawks on top early, looking for a 5th win in 7 games under new coach Justin Tatum. It is the Illawarra Hawks 19, Adelaide 12. More here on your New Year's Eve basketball right after this.
couple of Mitsubishi threes in the first quarter. Justin Robinson, Todd Blanchfield providing for the Hawks. Adelaide yet to score from range as the home team applied the defensive clamps in that first quarter. It's the Hawks 19 leading the 36ers 12 in front of a big crowd. Importantly for Illawarra, their leading scorer and rebounder. Sam Froling has been patched up, a couple of stitches applied to the forehead. He will resume and start this second quarter in front of a crowd that reads 5,226. As we go back to John Casey, Case, capacity here is 5,200. I can only assume there's 26 people standing up somewhere.
Oh, they're all there for a good reason, because the Hawks are doing a good job of it at the moment. Up 7 here. They've got the start thereafter and really holding Adelaide at arm's length. Adelaide's offense not great. 30% from the field, none of 5 from deep, none of 1 from the free throw line. So they roll it down to Humphries once more, baseline, working on Froling, spinning back to the right hand. Starling with a tip in, comes up with his first score in the game.
That's the kind of energy that they need. Starling getting on the offensive glass. You got to credit the Hawks and their defense. You know, we spoke about how well they've been defending in recent weeks, and they really had the 36ers in lockdown in that opening term.
Froling comes up empty, so a chance for Adelaide to edge a little closer as McCarron goes to Kadee. Humphries onwards, his Sunday ditch. Looking for Starling, pass picked off. Active hands from Hung Chung Lee, and now he can go solo here against Kadee on the retreat. Didn't get enough on the shot. Well done, Humphries, to get back in a hurry and grab the rebound. And Kadee, well, rejected. Taking the 3 there. The loose ball comes to Adelaide, and Humphries adds another 2. He's into double figures already.
Well, take him out. You can get the points right now for the 36ers. It wasn't pretty, but they stuck with it. Isaac Humphries doing all the damage.
Johnson for Lee. Now, Obrick, and he shares it around again once more. Robinson playing with 2 fouls in that opening quarter. Comes up with a bucket.
Crafty. Just exploring off the ball screen. Good patience from the Hawks, going side to side. And then it lands in the hands of Robinson to operate late in the shot clock.
Starling uses McCarron. He decides to go solo, McCarron. Caught it deep. Humphries again active on the O-boards. Got a piece of it to Starling. Adelaide can reset. They want the big man involved once more. And he's fouled there by Froling. Just getting into his back as he made his move. So Froling picks up his first personal.
It's a good call. Just a little too overzealous right there. The first initial push that caused Isaac Humphries to lose balance. But that UCLA cut, he was open. That ball's got to get to the wing and feed Isaac Humphries rather than just trying to wait and see if you can get a better look. Big fella's rolling right now. 10 of their 16 points. 5 of 8 from the field. Everybody else is struggling. Everybody else is just 3 of 17.
We've got Jason Kadee involved here. Hands off to the hot hand. And he doesn't disappoint. Humphries up to 12 on 6 of 9 from the field.
Well, he's rolling. Spoke about it pre-game. There's a real focus. Scott Ninnis has been talking about it. Here's the 36ers in transition. He said, we want to go inside early. It's something that I believe in terms of my philosophies, and it's been paying dividends with Isaac Humphries.
I was just about to give a big shout out to Alex Starling for providing some energy. He's had 2 offensive rebounds, picks up a steal, and then just gives one back with the illegal screen. Another look at it here. Just a little bit of the right hip, leg sticking out to Justin Robinson. And again, you only pick up those offensive fouls if the defense is willing to fight over the screens. And then we can kind of see that intent. Everybody moving together on the defensive end from Illawarra.
Froling. Going to Harvey. Shot clock into red numbers. Johnson extra pass. Robinson being good, this time off the mark. A chance for the 36ers. Get up to their big scoring threat at the moment. This time Humphries talked out of the points. Robinson gets it from Clark. I've seen a lot of Gary Clark offensive end so far. And whistle on the play.
It's over here first. I tried to let it play. You grabbed his arm. White 10. Hold
Went down a little awkward there. Tyler Harvey, it looks like he's okay. A little contact there from McCarron.
Oh, high extension.
I thought maybe that right knee might have come up a little sore.
And I think he Those little shock ones where initially you're just like, wow, that could have been a whole lot worse.
We saw that in Adelaide with Alex Saar on Thursday night.
No, I didn't know.
Hard in mouth stuff, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I was watching a little on delay. I got a heads up.
Yeah.
So, hey, Liam,
Look away now.
Cover your eyes. They gave me the timestamp and everything, and I was well prepared.
First field goal of the game for Tyler Harvey as the Hawks edge back to a 5-point buffer. Started this term 7 on top. Sunday Detch, he fires off the mark with his first shot. Almost 4 minutes played here in this second quarter. An arm wrestle. Hawks on top by 5, looking to grab their 7th win of the season. When you consider they managed just 3 last season, finished with a wooden spoon, they are certainly on the up at the moment, and a big crowd has turned out on New Year's Eve to join in the celebrations. A little later, we're off to Cairns to see the Taipans and Melbourne go at it. Hungry Jacks NBL double header to ring in the new year, and the finishing touches from Froling.
That's where someone from Adelaide's got to come across and get Sam Froling out of there. Isaac Humphrey's been that help defender. Another turnover here for Adelaide. It's their 7th turnover. And here come the Hawkies, and Chris Reid had a choice there. Could have picked a different, a bunch of different calls. Either way, there was all going to be illegal and a turnover.
That is a very interesting looking tape job.
It's a low bandage.
It's very low, isn't it?
That's gonna, eyebrow could be interesting after that. Could be an interesting shape.
Oh, you think you might come up? They might pull a few out.
Oh, have a look at that. That could very well be. That could be a trip to Office Works. You might have to get a Sharpie.
Oh no.
Snooze timeout called here. 5:44 to play in the second. Hawks on top by 7, so 6 points apiece in this quarter. And just Adelaide struggles at the offensive end. 32% from the field, none of 8 from deep. And turning the ball over 7 times to 4. So they've got their hands full as we go courtside to Matt Russell with one of the Hawks players.
John, Dan Greeter had a fantastic start to the season before an ankle injury became a knee complaint. I know you'll be back in no time at all. What have you made of the game so far, Dan?
Yeah, it's been awesome. The crowd is absolutely amazing. You know, we always pack it out on New Year's. It's the best night of the year here in the Gong. So, yeah, super pumped to see all these guys here, and hopefully we can get one up against Adelaide.
If you're a bit flat to be injured, I imagine being around this group would lift your spirits, the mood they're in at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're having heaps of fun under JT. We're a super tight team, so we have fun in general. Wollongong's small. We all live next to each other, so we're having a great time.
And you've got your family here. I was lucky enough to interview Dan's lunatic brother last year. What have you and Bro been up to when he's in town?
Well, they're both here. Actually, 2 younger brothers, they're both here. They're sitting over here. So they came for Christmas, and we've been having a great time. So they're really enjoying the Gong.
What'd you make of the win against the Kings on Christmas night?
Yeah, massive. I think we were real happy with that one. You know, we love to beat Sydney, so, and especially on Christmas, it was a special day.
Dan, we'll see you back on the floor in no time at all. Enjoy the rest of the game, and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Good on your case.
Dan Greeter is full of energy, isn't it? Great positive force, out with injury at the moment. Actually started against Adelaide back in round 3.
I remember that interview too.
Yes.
That was world class.
Here's Kadee trying to create here for the 36ers. They need some offense, and finally they get some as Kadee opens his account.
And that's why Scott Innes has thrown him in there. They were so quiet in that first quarter. He's searching from some offensive production from the perimeter. We know Kadee can light it up if he gets going, if he starts feeling confident. He's had a quiet season, this one in Adelaide so far, but a confidence-building bucket right there.
Well, played team deep so far. There was talk of the rotation shortening up. But I think we're just looking for some sort of spark plug.
Well, turned the ball over 7 times, and the Hawks have stolen it 5 times from them. That's a big part of their problem, as Robinson adds to his tally. Now with 7, he leads the Hawks.
It's that drops coverage. Isaac Humphreys stays in that drops, and if you turn the corner on the ball screen, as Justin Robinson did there, you're either going to get mid-range jump shot if that's what you want to get to, or if you put the Jets on, just one-on-one downhill. That's going to help from Trey Kell, as he goes down awkwardly as well.
Just a little second hand on landing there, Trey Kell. Hoping he can shake that off. They need his offense.
Well, they do. They need offensive production from Kel, and they need it from Vasiljevic as well, because the ball spends a lot of time in their hands. So they need those guys putting points on the board. Vasiljevic, he hasn't scored yet. He's 0 for 4 from the field. That's Trey Kell's second bucket of the afternoon. 36 of fans will be looking for those two to start to get going.
I guess the hard thing for both of them is they're both not true point guards either. With the ball in their hand, they're trying to set some plays up, trying to get Isaac Humphries in the rock as well. But they are designed to be shooting guards and let that thing fly.
Just 7 points for Trey Kell and 9 for Vasiljevic against the Perth Wildcats on Thursday night. Finishing touches provided here by Gary Clark. They've got all the ounces here at the moment. That's the trouble for Adelaide, is that the opposition generally get their points a lot easier than Adelaide are able to accumulate theirs at the other end. So a little over 4 minutes out from half-time. 6-point margin, and here's Isaac Humphries getting involved once more. He's got 14 now.
Oh, he's been big. Good find from Vasiljevic. Gives it up at the last second. Humphries with the finishing touches.
Clark hands over. Swakala bullet left alone down Main Street. Easy 2 for him as he opens his account.
Right now, if they're turning the corner, the Hawks, they're getting good look after good look. It's just too easy, but that's down the other end as well. He just tucks it in.
Man on a mission here on New Year's Eve is Isaac Humphries, up to 16 in the game, single-handedly keeping Adelaide in the picture.
It's been absolutely fantastic. Finishing with the touch around the basket, and there with the strength up and through the contact above the rim.
Had 13 points and 8 boards the last time these sides met in round 3. Isaac Humphries. But in the Harvey Norman replay, such a massive target, made that look easy.
He's just tucked that in. Have a look at that. That's like when you get to a hotel room and just try and, it's like getting faxed getting into that bed. It's so nicely tucked in.
Looks like the Isaac Humphries that played 5 games with the Atlanta Hawks in 2019. Was Rookie of the Year in the NBL as well.
Well, it makes sense for him in the half court in particular to find him. And what they need to do is get stops and play up tempo so those other guys can get more involved. But in the half court, they're finding Humphries and he's putting it in the bucket.
Quite an arm wrestle. Let's get some reaction courtside. Matt Russell.
Yeah, Justin Tatum just telling his team they're not where he wants them defensively right now. But if I can expand on Isaac Humphries, one of the matchups, the key matchups coming here tonight was going to be Sam Froling against Isaac Humphries, 2nd and 4th in the league for points in the paint. And the Adelaide big man has saved some of his best performances for Illawarra over the years. So it's going to be a key matchup. And interestingly, Isaac has cut loose while Sam's been off the floor. Firstly with that head cut, now he's having a breather, and we've seen Isaac extend his scoring again. Do the Hawks need to get Sam back out there? And alternatively, do Adelaide just keep going towards Isaac Humphries?
Well, it's a good question. Lockie Olbrich is the matchup right now. Froling, of course, going to spend plenty of time on Isaac. First thing they need to do, though, is keep the guards out of the paint. Because that's where Isaac is at his best, when out of pick and roll actions, guys are driving to the hoop and they can find him rolling to the rim.
So Adelaide back to within 4 here. Hawks did lead by as much as 7. As Harvey fires off the mark. 1 of 2 from long range. Hawks 2 of 10 from deep. Adelaide 0 of 8 from deep because they've been concentrating on getting Humphries involved from close range. When he's got 18 points in the first half, you keep going there.
There's your answer, Matty. Just keep finding him the rock in the right position, and he's doing all the hard work because Vasiljevic gets this steal. He's on the board.
And Adelaide back on level terms. So this game has turned. Less than 3 minutes ago, it was the Hawks by 7. Now Adelaide with the momentum. And the Hawks, they need a bucket. Couldn't provide it there. Tyler Harvey, 1 of 6 from the field. It's been his night so far. Vasiljevic exploring. Oh, lost the handle. Almost stripped of it there. Decides to pull the trigger nonetheless, and Adelaide are back in front.
That's what he does. Takes tough shots, makes tough shots.
The tougher the better, sometimes it appears, for DJ Vasiljevic. From close range, Swakala bullet breaks the drought for the Hawks. Boy, did they need that. Just 14 points in this quarter for Illawarra. Adelaide with 22 as Kel dribbled into a problem area. Got Flowers a good look, couldn't complete it. Kel the O-board and earns a trip to the free throw line.
Oh, they've been able to open up the floor a little bit here, Adelaide, in this second quarter. Restricted to just 12 in that opening term, and it was all a bit congested and pretty tough. But here, they're getting into the paint, they're getting open looks from the arc, they're getting a running start on offensive rebounds, and all of a sudden, things are starting to flow much better at the offensive end.
Speaking of much better, how about this for basketball fans? Got a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity coming up to get access to the world-beating Chicago Bulls of the 90s. And this is a great partnership with TEG Live, bringing Scottie Pippen, Luke Longley and Horace Grant to Australia. And it's presented by Coca-Cola, and it consists of 3 epic shows in Hobart, Melbourne and Sydney, all in February next year, so don't miss out. Tickets available at the website nbl.com.au/no-bull. Fun night for everyone, I think. Get along to that. Adelaide by 3 here. And that's going to work from close range as Gary Clark adds to his tally.
They've missed a few deep in the paint in this quarter, the Hawks. That was really good patience from Gary Clark. Simple little pick and roll, great pocket pass, and that little shot fake, just to freeze Humphries, and then he went to work underneath. The chance for the M1, and Clark 6 points now, 3 of 5 from the field. He's got 5 rebounds. A little quiet from what we've seen the last couple of weeks from the star import.
A double-double against Adelaide back in round 3, 14 and 10, Clark. And we're tied away here as we head toward half-time. Fans starting to find their voice as well on New Year's Eve at the Sandpit, Wynn Entertainment Centre. Kel fires, and he knocks down the 3. Just the second triple of the game for Adelaide. They're 2 of 10, and so are the Hawks from deep.
Well, they had 2 points combined from Callum Vasiljevic in the opening term. They've had 13 from those 2 in this second quarter. So Humphries is going. Their scorers on the perimeter are rolling as Lee responds down the other end.
First score of the game, Chung Lee. Here's Wiley looking to get busy as well. Rushes down to the baseline. Kel dispossessed. Good defensive pressure from Lockie Albrecht. Bales. Nice pass. They're out and running now. Finishing touches provided by Blanchfield.
That's what they've been doing under Justin Tatum. Turnover, a long board, and they're taking off. And Albrecht looked like he read it well enough that he could have taken a charge if he wanted to, but the play before, he's really good at just walling up. Now look at it here. I say Humphries saw the opportunity to pick up a cheapie.
Well, he's got free throws to come, it would appear. 5th team foul. We're going to challenge this. Most stats show here a 5th team foul in this quarter for the Hawks. Timeout called, 43 seconds left on the clock here until half-time. Hawks are back on top, but perhaps only momentarily.
It has been a really good second quarter. Everybody getting involved, and they're still riding the big fella Humphries, 9 of 13. 18 points, 6 rebounds.
And the trouble that Scott Ninnis has had with this team has been the inconsistency or the contrast within games. Against Perth on Thursday night, they had their highest scoring first quarter of the season and then followed it up with their lowest scoring third quarter of the season. We've seen in this one their lowest scoring first quarter of the season, so they've gone from the best to their worst in the space of 2 games.
Highly inconsistent, and that's the issue. If they put 40 minutes worth of this type of second quarter effort together, well, they're going to be beating teams. But the ebbs and the flows, and that's what is so difficult for Scott right now, is he's moving the lineup around and trying to find groups that work well together and can get it done at both ends of the floor, and he's found some of those answers here in this second quarter.
I think the big key is how do they stop that in the moment rather than letting it drag out for a whole quarter. And you heard Scott Innes saying the body language was poor, and in hindsight, what could he have done back then? Could he just done a 5-on, 5-off type thing once he saw everybody and all those certain people who were dropping their heads and thinking it was getting away from them, because in the fourth quarter they sparked up a little bit and got it to a much more respectable score.
And even that game against the Wildcats on Thursday night, they were 12 of 25 from the free throw line. There's not much a coach can do about that. And what exacerbated it was the fact that Perth were 12 of 25, but that was from the three-point line.
Meanwhile, Humphries checks out for a well-earned rest, going to protect his foul situation. What a terrific first half. 20 points and 6 boards, 70% from the field.
Yes, please, say the Adelaide fans. So Adelaide by 1. Hawks looking to retake the lead. Get Lee an outside look, and he is off the mark.
I don't see that every day.
No, he's been one of the best from deep this season. Had 18 threes at 47%, 52% from the field. 9 of 10 from the stripe. And Adelaide with a chance here just to extend the margin. Shot clock almost 6 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward halftime. Adelaide led by 5 early in the game before it was the Hawks by 7 when we started this term. So Trey Kell riding the top. Vasiljevic harassed by Bawali Bales. Now gets it. 2 former Sydney Kings players. Vasiljevic, Flowers got a good look from deep. Can't finish it though. And the Hawks snatch it back, and a chance even to snatch back. Bales was a little unsure of how much time was left on the clock there, because he's given Starling. He went a little premature as well. So a wild finish to the first half here, and we've got a 1-point game after being down 7 at quarter time. Adelaide takes the lead into halftime, 41-40. Stop giggling over there, Pete Hawley.
Well, give us the 9 seconds back.
Well, that was a wild way to finish the half, but emblematic of what we've seen, where both teams are a little off the mark at different times in this first half.
Tell us more, Matt Russell.
The clear star of the first half, 20 points at 70%, 6 rebounds. Isaac Humphries, how did your team facilitate that performance by you?
I think we're just reading that on-ball defense really well, and hitting me on the roll a fair bit more than maybe some other nights, just because they're leaving it open. So we've always said if they leave it open, throw it, and I think they're just, seeing it tonight and throwing it a bit more, and it's been good.
Your team fought back. What was the key to that second quarter fight back?
I think we're always trying to play with that chip now. Everyone's counted us out, so we're trying to just play hard, and sometimes playing hard just builds momentum, and you just find a bit of a run.
I hope that run continues for you in the second half. Well done on that first 2 quarters. Fantastic. Isaac Humphries, he's bumping bodies with Lockie Albrook, with Sam Froling. Can he get Adelaide over the line? They're up by 1 as we hit the half. 36ers 41, Hawks 40. Back to John Casey, Pete Hooley, Liam Santa Maria right after this.
I will, so, because if you let Pete do it, he'll be into it. Bunnings is backing the next generation of ballers. Today we're going to have a heap of fun. I'm going to surprise a family. They're huge basketball fans and they love the Phoenix. I'm going to jump in the car.
Hello.
We're going to head down to John Cain Arena and we're going to have a blast. Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Ah, God love you. How about those shirts? You like them?
Yeah.
The Bunnings Ballers.
Can I ask you a question?
My word, you can.
Is it true that you held the most score for 11 years?
I did. 11 seasons in a row. I was the leading scorer, but that was a long, long, long time ago, my friend. Hey, Meso, give me some love, brother. I thought you could wave this sign and maybe get the whole crowd to chant out, defense! Defense! Now, you might be saying that, but I just want you to know, in your head, you've got to realise it's all about the offense.
Yeah.
It's all about shooting threes, getting to the rack, dunking on people. That's really what we want to see.
Welcome back. Half-time here between the Hawks and the Adelaide 36ers. The Hungry Jacks highlights at half-time are going to feature one man in particular. He has been outstanding, Isaac Humphries.
Oh, it's been unstoppable. And again, he's not doing anything flashy. He's just getting to his spots where he knows he can succeed. And when he gets that ball, it's game over. And the way he's doing it super efficiently, 9 of 13, the 20 points. He's filling it up on the glass as well. Has got the 6 rebounds, and credit to his teammates because, as I said, he's doing the work. You've got to reward him. They haven't shown that all season long. It's been very inconsistent in terms of when they look for him, but when he's doing it this well, you've got to keep finding the rocket. That right there is a very good-looking blackboard shot chart. That is very pretty.
That's a man who knows what he does, and he's doing it at a very high level, staying in his lane, staying in the lane, getting all his buckets around the paint, and shooting at a very, very healthy percentage.
Not sustainable, though, for an Adelaide victory, you would suspect, because Adelaide were just 3 players with multiple field goals here at half-time. Someone else is going to have to buy into the equation. He can't do it all by himself.
Yeah, and they got some more guys getting going in that second quarter, didn't they? Trey Cal was getting a bit going. Dejan Vasiljevic knocked down some shots. So you're right, but they do need to continue to go at Isaac Humphries. Sometimes he gets off to a fast start, Hulls, and then they go in a different direction.
Yeah, and again, that's part of that inconsistency I was talking to, and it's happened all season long. And even if they do manage to come out and you'd expect the Hawks to try to junk it up defensively, whether they double team him or they throw some extra bodies at him, it's the likes of Kel, Vasiljevic, everyone else on the perimeter, Jacob Wiley, to be ready. Be ready to cut or catch and shoot and knock it down, take that pressure off the big fella inside.
A couple of stats not there. Adelaide 7 turnovers, Hawks 5 assists. They need to change that, Adelaide, if they're going to get a win. Justin Robinson, well, he wanted redemption from this game because the last time against Adelaide was his worst ever professional performance, and we're seeing a little bit more from him here at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's been active, knocked down some shots. He's 3 of 5 from the field, operating in the mid-range and from long range. And, he was one of, a whole bunch of different Hawks to trouble the scoreboard. 8 different scorers in that first half, 7 different guys scoring in the first quarter.
You mentioned Trey Kel, 8 of his 10 in the second quarter there, as you can see from those numbers.
Well, he's been productive. Look, he's filling out the box score. 10 points, 5 boards, 4 assists. We're going to keep an eye on that stat line.
Go on, say it.
No, we're going to keep an eye on the stat line as the second half plays out.
Well, they're going to need him to play big if Adelaide are going to get the win. Both these teams lost last New Year's Eve. Someone's going to ring in the new year in style here. Will it be Adelaide? Will it be Illawarra? Stick around. You'll find out here in the Hungry Jacks NBL when we return right after this.
Now at greenacresemergence.com. Sounds and storytelling lives. They keep bringing up memories. They shape us, defining frontiers and opportunities. Sounds bring us together to share our experiences. Where we push boundaries, break barriers, and ignite the spirit of possibility. These sounds are hand in a big Illawarra, telling the stories of lives and the sounds that shape us.
This fella's more interested in checking his pants. The crowd's not happy. Looks like the players are getting involved.
Come on, mate. Get involved. Don't let a bet take you away from the game.
Way to go, mate.
Well, thanks for sharing your New Year's Eve with us here in the Hungry Jacks NBL. Half-time between the Hawks and Adelaide. Up next, Cairns against Melbourne United. Top of the table, Melbourne 14-3. Undefeated on the road, 6-0. The last time they played 4 weeks ago, Cairns got 115 and beat Melbourne by 12. Had 67 at half-time, the most ever given up by Dean Vickerman. And I'm sure that's still is a sore spot.
Yeah, looking forward to that one. Now, that was one of the most memorable games of the season so far. Cairns going in at John Cain Arena and getting the job done.
Paddy Miller, 32-10. They couldn't handle the man with the muscles.
Yeah, talk about a revenge game with Justin Robinson. That'll be one for Melbourne United for sure. And we also brought up the numbers around Tyler Harvey and the Hawks. When Tyler Harvey scores more than 15, good things happen for Illawarra. When he doesn't, well, they're yet to win a game. You see it right there. And the way they're tracking right now, they need to get him some good looks. And to be honest, he's got where he's wanted to. Yeah. He's got into the spots where that floater just hasn't managed to knock him down. So as a coach, as a team, you can't ask for a whole lot more. You've got to trust your superstar to make them here in the second half.
Also with us tonight, courtside, Matty Russell.
Scotty Ninnis must be aware that the Hawks have won their last 4 second halves. A real rev up to his team just then. He said the first 2 or 3 minutes of this quarter is going to tell us a lot. He said, let's defend, and importantly, let's just give them one shot, putting a real focus on offensive rebounds. Doesn't want the Hawks to get any to start this third quarter.
Thanks very much, Matty. Well, Adelaide had a good record against the Hawks. They've won their last 4, dating back to February 2022. And this really is non-negotiable for the Hawks. They need to win this game. They win this game and they're joint 6th outside the play-in by percentage. Lose this game, and that's a big step back in terms of the perception of what's going on there.
Well, they've put themselves in a position to make it a big game for them with their recent results, and now they need to consolidate with a win at home.
Both teams back to their original starting 5s. This is Vasiljevic looking to get going. Pass deflected. Active hands. Well done by the Hawks. That was good defensive pressure again as Robinson hands back to Swaka Labulik. Patiently set up here. Harvey gets away from Vasiljevic. Works to the elbow. Fires. And gets short on the front of the rim. So 1 of 7 now from the field.
He's coming up really short. That's his bread and butter. Really patient. Yes, nice Humphries.
They look for the big man once more, this time off the mark. And a chance for the Hawks here. 2-on-2 fast break. Swaka Labulik dancing his way down low and coming up with a finish.
That's tough from Swaka Labulik. Getting downhill in transition, making it up as he went along, and good enough to finish.
He's bootlegging his way up the floor. His Flowers had to get going, none of 4 from the field, now none of 5. So his struggles continue for the next start. Hawks looking to grab some momentum here. Tyler Harvey, lob pass for Froling. Play of the game for the Hawks.
They've had success in that high pick and roll. They did it in the first quarter, kind of went away from it in the second, but credit Adelaide's defense in the second for keeping them out of that. They can turn the corner, good things happen. We saw Justin Robinson get to the mid-range as Wiley misses that one as well.
Well done, Humphries, to keep that alive and keep Adelaide's momentum alive at the moment as well, because after... and now they've called the offensive foul on Jacob Wiley, his first personal. So we get a look at the Harvey Norman replay of Sam Froling.
It's just simple basketball, right? Turn the corner, Tyler Harvey. That ball screen right there and kind of froze. Jake Wiley throw it up. wondering if they might be having a look at this. It's a potential challenge. A timeout here from Scott Ennis.
He's seen enough of this movie in the third quarter. It was 28-9 Perth against Adelaide on Thursday night. So no challenge here, but he just wants to stop the momentum.
And I was thinking the exact same thing. Once that whistle went for the offensive foul, I almost thought in my head, you could do with a timeout here just exactly that. We've been here. This could be a deja vu. We've come out here. You heard Matt Russell say how important this first couple of minutes are. We've missed some good shots. We had turnovers. We leaked some points. An easy layup for Swaka, a tough layup for Swaka Bullock, and an easy alley-oop. And just try and reset things.
2 of 3 from the field since half-time. The Hawks, Adelaide, none of 3 from the field. And if you want some entertainment, well, how about the Harlem Globetrotters? I'll bring plenty of entertainment your way. Fantastic to watch the World Tour coming your way. You can certainly scan the QR code there for your tickets. And the 2024 World Tour for the Harlem Globetrotters. So get around that. You will have some fun. And get to Adelaide and go and watch them again myself.
We're going.
Entertaining.
We're going, Case.
Get the family involved.
Santa Maria crew will be there.
Yep.
Very good night entertainment. Let's see what kind of response Scott Ennis gets from the group. Matt told us he gave him a rev up before they took the court for this third quarter, and he's doubled down.
And that's going to be there. That's that same action. Now that drops coverage, and Justin Robinson realising, okay, these first 2 minutes, they've resorted back to what they did in the first quarter. Defensively, they've taken a step back, and we're getting good looks as Flowers over 6 now. After that miss.
1 of 3 from deep as well. Here's Kell waving away the help. Humphreys shuffles inside and tumbles for the big man, who's up to 22.
He's got the touch. Just give him the rocks. Scoring at a high percentage. Meanwhile, Tyler Harvey getting going.
Into a 6-point buffer now. 9 points to 2 since half-time in favour of the Hawks. They're all business here. Inside Froling. Out by Humphreys. Gets it done. Chance of a 3-point play.
I don't mind that look from Trey Kell. They're going to go underneath. Can step into it, but that's going to be there for the entire half, right? Isaac Humphreys just hit one. Tyler Harvey hit a big 3. I'll be coming down and really slowing it down and say, okay, what play can I run right now to get Isaac Humphreys the ball in the post? Let's try and get another good look. Nice, easy 2. And all of a sudden, it's a bit of momentum, huge momentum swing Illawarra's way.
Adds the extra, so the margin out to a game-high 9 points in favour of the Illawarra Hawks. Adelaide's biggest edge was a 5-point buffer in the opening quarter. Both teams in front in each of the 2 quarters completed. And they need to find some offense here again for Adelaide. As Vasiljevic puts it on the deck from close range, comes up with a 2. Robinson. Hands over. Now it's Clark muscling his way down against Wiley, who's not able to get into the game at all. Jacob Wiley, that's tough.
This is where Clark's gotten much better as the season has progresses. Just a little bit more forceful on those kinds of plays. Just gets himself poised and settled and then strong to the cup.
9 points, 7 boards, 2 steals for Gary Clark. Shot clock rolls to single digits here for Adelaide. Vasiljevic has lost it. Tried to put the slows on. Swaka Bullock, who gets coast to coast, adds the 2, draws a foul.
Might be a little calmer there because it looked like it would have easily been an unsportsmanlike foul call. Vasiljevic after the turnover, but in the end they're going to get a 3-point play opportunity. Good finish from Swaka Bullock. There's the turnover, just a mishandle. And right there, all the players are calling for it, but Swaka Bullock took off with the contact. Nice patient finish.
So 10 turnovers for Adelaide, twice as many as the Hawks. And 8 players have coughed it up as well. It's been contagious, and the margin into double figures. The first time in the game. 17 points to 4 since half-time, and another crazy turnover.
Wow, geez, they're piling up now. That was just a lack of concentration. Trey Kell doesn't get fully established in the front court, and their 11th turnover result.
I think that's also just part of not having that true point guard out there. Trey Kell, we know he's been facilitating He's done well to fill that point guard role, but Justin Robinson picked him up full court, and he just got rid of it. Said, Wiley, bring it up, as he knocks one down himself, and he's chirping away. They're up 15.
20-4 is the run here, and a tick over 4 minutes. Adelaide has coughed it up 4 times in that 4-minute period as well. This Wakallabulik. Oh, the Hawks are all over Adelaide at the moment. Scott Ninnis has to burn another timeout. 23 points to 4 in the space of 4 and a bit minutes. Here has the Hawks on top.
And it's a New Year's celebration.
The crowd
inside the sandpit. Enormous crowd come in and packed out the Wynn Entertainment Centre. Justin Robinson's up and about, extra pass, Wakallabulik from long range. Dominant performance to open this third term, and the Hawk heads loving every minute of it.
They are 9 of 10 from the field.
This is what Scott Ninnis was referring to in his press conference after that Perth game, and you saw it a little bit in the last couple of sessions, right? The body language, and okay, they hit a big 3. We get a miss down one end. Okay, we just got to get a stop. Let's just stem the bleeding as best we can. No one rotates. They're slow to get back, and Tyler Harvey gives it up to Wakallabulik, who knocks one down. Quick timeout. These are those moments that they just need to get out of their game. And Illawarra, we spoke about where they are on the ladder. Percentage is going to be hard for them to make up, but they're not going to take their foot off the gas.
Matty Russell courtside.
And understandably irate, Scott Ninnis there, screen to his side 3 times, stick together, play some decent offence, make the Hawks play defence. A short, sharp timeout from the Adelaide coach.
Meanwhile, Matty, is Matt Campbell in the building? Jared Navalli, those guys looking like...
They are smiling ear to ear length, and I'm going to hit them up. I'm going to say, boys, it's your shout tonight. And I'm going to have myself some sort of New Year's Eve on their pocket. Let me tell you, they ain't saying no to me tonight.
Well, Nick Marshall works inside, comes up with a score. Boy, did the Adelaide 36ers need that.
They might need to save their pennies, Bulls, to get that Justin Tatum contract signed.
Maybe have one in the back pocket and get it out tonight when he's a little bit later in the evening.
Just forget a 0 case.
Everything happening at the moment. And the ball rolling their way as well. Adelaide with problems.
Well, you hear Scott Ninnis there, right? 50-50 ball. That could have been huge if Tyler Harvey comes up with that and knocks it down.
So Vasiljevic for Marshall. Humphries down low against Froling. It's been the go-to man for them. Muscles his way in a little bit. Good D there from Froling. Kept him at bay. Loose ball came back to Humphrey, so he marches in from close range. He's got 24.
And that's where he's been really good. Being active, staying with plays, opportunistic there. The ball bounces right back to him, and he takes advantage.
At 24 against Perth on Thursday night. Humphries matches it here. Season high of 26 came against Perth back in round 4. Career high of 27. Might be in some danger here as the Hawks had another 2. There's Marshall feeling confident. He was off the long-range attempt. Wouldn't work. McCarron with the rebound and the putback for his first score.
It's right spot, right time for Mitch McCarron, and they've scored back-to-back possessions now. And they just need to get some stops because that last one was too easy from Garrett Clark.
Harvey. He's back. Outside shot. Not on that occasion. And McCarron. On Starling. Works inside Tyler Harvey. Kicks it outside. Marshall ready to go. Got a good look. Caught it deep. Adelaide 2 of 16 from deep.
Really good looks too, Case. They've got to start to knock some of these down. Just 12% from three-point territory.
None of 5 in the first quarter. None of 4 in this quarter.
It's Galloway checking in.
30% on the season, Adelaide. 9th out of the 10 teams as Humphries sits down. 24 points on 11 of 17. He's got 8 boards as well. Margin of 14 as Adelaide try and regather some of the damage that's been done here. Vasiljevic, top of the keys off the mark. Kept alive by Marshall. The O boards are up to 11 now for Adelaide. Hawks have 4 in that category. Galloway, he's off the front of the rim. high percentage three if they're going to take them. And Vasiljevic exploring against Lee. Works inside, draws contact, gets a trip to the free throw line.
This will annoy Justin Tatum. Highlighted it in the first half, but they're second last in defensive rebounds in the competition. 13 O-boards for the 36ers. Hawks just not doing well enough to limit them to one shot. Take away all those second chance opportunities, and this score could look even better in their favour. And it's an interesting thing because on the other end, usually, they're very aggressive on the offensive glass themselves. Just the 4 offensive boards tonight. They've had some big offensive rebounding games.
And Adelaide used 11 players, and 10 of them have got up a 3 here in the game. And they're shooting the ball at 2 of 18. It's a long way from where they were in the old style of game.
Oh, boy.
And this is too easy at the other end. As Todd Blanchfield adds to his tally, he's now up to 7. Now Marshall. Galloway just catch and shoot, fires up another 3. Starling foul by Albrecht there. Well, these teams clashed back in 1985, and Adelaide won by 75. It's the biggest ever win. And we'll get back to that.
This is the issue right here. This is off a made free throw. This simply just cannot happen. This is why Scott Innes has been unhappy. Mason Peatling takes it out. Look at the numbers back. They're 3 Hawks balls, just 3 passes, and Todd Blanchfield rips to the rim and gets a layup. That's off a made free throw.
Not good from Adelaide. Meanwhile, really good from Illawarra. Ball didn't touch the floor. It's like a transition drill at practice, and they get an easy bucket.
Galloway with an ugly turnover there. Adelaide have now got 13.
Now, okay, so take it. You said that game in 1985, they won by 70-something?
They won by 75, and in that game, the Hawks took 104 shots, and 3 of them were from long range.
Jeez, good take from AJ Johnson.
Surely it was a 40, 50-point game in there from somebody.
It was a high-scoring affair. Al Green was he was on triple-double watch, 47. Chairman of the boards had 20 boards, but that was the second year of the three-point line.
Right.
103 shots the Hawks put up, or 104, and 3 of them were three-point attempts.
Yeah, well, it's a different-looking game these days, isn't it?
How it has changed, because Adelaide, well, they were 108 shots and took 14 threes.
Right now they've got 53 points, 57 shots. They've shot 19 threes in case they've only made 2 of them.
Sometimes you end up with teams shooting more 3s than 2s, and Vasiljevic cranks another up. Albert grabs the rebound. He's fouled.
I think amongst all those numbers, I think my takeaway and your overall point, maybe they should go inside a little more. Because they're letting it fly, they're coming up short. Meanwhile, the big fella has 24, a game high, he's shooting 65% from the field. Let's get him back out there and go back to it.
Well, they need to find something, don't they? Down 16 after leading when this quarter began. Lee against Detch. Now gets beyond Galloway, fires baseline, off the mark. 1 of 6 from the field now. Jung Lee as McCarron hands off. Marshall gave him some latitude, so he penetrates. Close range, couldn't get it done. Albrecht grabs the rebound.
It looks like they're just trying to play some pickup basketball on the offensive end. No real sets, and you know, settling with Isaac sitting down as Todd Blanchfield. I'll get the call there. I was envisioning that substitution. Scott Innes says he had a chat with Humphries coming off the bench. You let me know when you're ready to go. You get a quick little breather, you let me know when you're good. I'll throw you back out there, because it just looks like they're not getting anything on the offensive end whilst he's sitting down.
Albert, quick turn, and draws contact.
And this is a young, fun Hawks group out there right now that's having a whole bunch of fun. They're running and pushing, and Albrecht with the early seal. And the tempo, I mean, it's wild. But it's very fun to watch right now.
I think we've seen that a little bit. And I think this is, again, a credit to Justin Tatum. This isn't the first time we've seen the whole bench unit on for the Hawks at times. And it's so often the case that when you've been on these teams where you see at practice that bench unit takes it up to the starters and they just play so well together, and they very rarely get to play together in games. Justin Tatum basically saying that I'm going to cycle through substitutions throughout the game, but there's going to be moments where that, whether it's black or red, whatever they use in practice, you guys are going to play together and just do what you do every day in practice. Have some fun out there, play together.
Sunday Detch looks for the penetration now against Lee, forced into a tough shot. Albrecht was there again.
Good D. The Hawks sliding their feet, scrambling, rotating, forcing a tough shot.
Again, third quarter presenting problems for the Adelaide 36ers. As Galloway splits a couple, finds McCarron. And now Sunday Detch. It's a shot clock. 9 seconds inside the game clock as we head toward three-quarter time. Adelaide had 12 in the first quarter, their lowest scoring first quarter of the season. Got 12 here at the moment and are desperate for a bucket. Starling off the mark. Another O-board. Sunday Detch. Galloway shut down. Lockie Albrecht.
Oh, here we go.
Shuts them down. Johnson. Scott Peatling working hard. Tough pass. Lee, the man you want with it. Can't connect. Three-quarter time arrives here. And after trailing at halftime, the Hawks turn for home with a massive 18-point lead. It's Illawarra 71, Adelaide 53 here in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
A tale of two cities when it comes to the third quarter. Adelaide's third quarter woes continues, and Adelaide's and Illawarra's third quarter success continues. They were 31-25 against the Kings on Christmas night. This evening, 30-12 in the third quarter against Adelaide. It was some period for the home team. They're inviting more than 5,000 fans to really get into this game and ride them home in the fourth quarter, John Casey.
Well, 12 of 18 from the field in that third quarter. The Illawarra Hawks, absolutely outstanding, including 3 of 3 from deep. And an 18-point edge. Adelaide have got a big hole to dig themselves out of. But let's not forget what happened the last time these two sides met. And we saw an amazing comeback by Adelaide to get the win. That would certainly be against the runner play at the moment. Lee, good look. Can't connect there, so he's none of 3 from deep, 1 of 7 overall. His 50-40-90 season is diminishing rapidly. Here's Trey Curl, scoreless in the third. Dishes outside. Kadee knocks down the triple.
Well, that's nice relief for the 36ers fans. They were having the worst three-point shooting night of the season by any team prior to that make at just 9%, shoot for 22.
There we go.
And that one was...
It is cricket season.
That one was appreciated from Jason Kadee.
Did you warm up that one?
I'm ready to go.
2 for 22.
Oh. So that's what they need. They need to knock down some shots. I mean, it's been a real rough shooting night, as we've spoken about, and they need to get Isaac Humphries the rock. Meanwhile, sitting down and getting some stops down the other end.
They were none of 10 from deep in the third quarter, after being none of 5 in the opening term. This is Wiley, who's perhaps his slowest game of the season tonight.
If you get a bucket here, there'll be a timeout, you think?
Close range. Should have done better, Humphries. Kept it alive, though. Forced into a tougher shot. Never looked likely.
Saw the hand. Justin Tatum was ready to go. Ready to call that timeout. Humphries made that first one. But the 16th offensive rebound is just keeping them around. Second chance opportunities.
Shot clock to 10 for Froling. Gets the ball to Harvey. Humphries stood off him and he said, well, I'll help myself to another 2. He's got 9 in the game.
That's good action. I always enjoy Sam Froling, Tyler Harvey pick and rolls. There, Froling twists the screen, sends Harvey towards the baseline, the floater off the board.
Just caught Isaac Humphries in no man's land. He's got a choice to make. He's thinking, do I jump right up to Tyler Harvey and allow that pocket pass down the other end? And Justin Tatum still wants a timeout.
2 minutes played here in the fourth. 73-60. Hawks by 13.
All right. Well, a little bit for Illawarra to start thinking about. Leading by 18 there at three-quarter time, cruising their way to an enjoyable home win, and Adelaide come out and go bang, bang, bang. 7-2, quick little run to open the fourth term, and they force the Hawks timeout.
I think that's the challenge, right, for Justin Tatum, because when this team likes to play with speed, they get up and down, and everything's fun, they're flowing. They just pile on the points, and they seem to get stops and consecutive stops, but when that momentum stops ever so briefly, how do you respond? How do you respond yourself without Justin Tatum having to call a timeout? That's the next step for them.
That was hard. Hey, you gotta like the flower. Hawks fans, please welcome back the Adelaide.
Hawks with 10 scorers in the game so far. Adelaide, well, they have been led by Isaac Humphries, 24 in the first 3 quarters. And Trey Kell, well, he's picked up some slack, and interesting numbers there, Liam.
Well, they look all right. Well, he's continuing to tick it over, isn't he? 12, 7 and 7. Now we continue to keep a close eye on that stat line.
Haven't seen a triple-double
there it is.
Since the 29th of January this year, which was last season. And as a 3-ball falls for Johnson.
That's a big hit out of the timeout for A.J. Johnson.
Restores the 18-point margin that we started with here at this quarter. So after 2.5 minutes of hard toil, Adelaide are no closer.
Well, this came at a good time for the Hawks. The handoff from Froling, the defense slips under. Good decision from the young fella. Got a nice looking stroke, the confidence to let it fly. They're back out by 16.
Two shots.
Yeah, the line here, Trey Kell. I've had the chance to publicly. You've done a tremendous job and more with Next Stars this year.
Thank you, my man.
Big fella, it's been fun to watch how it's all come about, and just to know that it's just the tip of the iceberg.
Let's go.
Well, it's exciting having talents like A.J. Johnson in the league. Shout out Jeremy Lowliger, Trenton Flowers. We're talking about that fourth quarter explosion that Adelaide had against Illawarra a few weeks back. Trenton had 18 in that fourth quarter. We've seen Next Stars putting up big numbers left and right. So working hand in hand with Jeremy to put this group together. We've got Vince Crivelli now working in the Next Stars space.
Are you rolling 2 phones? You got a Next Stars phone and a regular one? Seems like that's how busy you are.
And I will say, big shout out to all the clubs, the coaches, the CEOs, the general managers, the owners, in becoming great partners in this space, as Robertson scores a crucial bucket at the rim.
Contact there as well. And Joe Vasiljevic slow to get back to his feet as well.
And shout out to my man Case as well, just quietly, who last season, when we only had one active Next Star in the mix, was out there on air saying, I don't know why teams don't get involved in this program. You call it a free hit.
That is a free hit. And look at the talent we've got to enjoy as well. So crazy not to have one.
You're telling me that Case planted the seed. That's what that sounds like to me.
Several seeds.
There we go.
And from little things, Case,
big things grow. That's true. So Hawks by 17, almost 3 minutes played here in this last quarter. Reminder, Cairns against Melbourne. Last time they played it was centuries everywhere. Kell is fouled, so he's going to earn a trip back to the free throw line where he is 5 of 6 so far in this game.
Looks like the right call. Justin Tatum had a quick look behind to the assistant coach. Tyler Harvey's going to have a look at the replay. Tyler, you know whether you touched him or not, Tyler.
That's shenanigans, Tyler. Stay on the floor.
Tyler Harvey just trying to remember, did I clean him up or... It happened a whole 4 seconds before he went to have a look.
Well, New Year's Eve burgers on the line here. Stand by. Why not? Fans are getting excited.
If he misses the third one, Case, does that count?
2 in a row.
2 in a row.
Mind you, it is New Year's Eve. Maybe we can relax the rules just a little.
Now we'll never know.
Case thinks he has the power to relax the rules.
So the margin is 15. So work still to do here for the Hawks as they look to shuffle their way up from 9th on the ladder to equal 6th. Lob pass from Harvey. Well, it came back to him.
All part of the grand plan for Tyler Harvey. Like a boomerang, came right back, and he finished the play.
That was actually perfectly defended by Isaac Humphries, right? He's been caught in no man's land so often, not that time. Made a decision, and it worked out well. Vasiljevic knocks one down. Just his second 3 of the game. Into double figures now, 12 points.
Adelaide with 3 in double figures. Hawks have 4. What up, Humphries? Shut down Froling again. He's really dominated Froling tonight, who had stitches after copping a stray elbow in that opening quarter and just hasn't really been himself since. 9 points on 4 of 8, shooting 5 boards for Froling, who came in averaging 15 and 8.
That right there would be the 8th rebound for Trey Kell to go along with 16 points and 8 assists, and most impressively 0 turnovers, but we still will not mention it. We're just keeping an eye on those numbers, right, Liam?
Well, what we will say is Scott and Ennis, keep that man on the floor.
So a little over 6 minutes left on the clock. Vasiljevic got Robinson in the air, works to an opening and knocks down another. He's up to 15 in the game, including back-to-back triples here in the 4th. More importantly, margin cut to 11.
And he doesn't get a dime for that. FIFA rules in NBA, it's DJ Vasiljevic could take a couple more dribbles and still get it.
Good answer, Robinson. This game needs some putting away here by the Hawks. Adelaide continue to ask some questions.
Robinson up to 17 on 7 of 9 shooting. Here's Humphries, turnaround, wouldn't work for him.
This is kind of the game from Robinson I expected a bit more consistently this season. He looks really poised. He's just picking his moments. Knocks that one down and got to 19 points. He's hitting a couple of tough shots, but every time he's come off the ball screen, he hasn't forced anything. Really calm. Look at that, 8 of 10 from the field. Just the 2 dimes, which should be down on his standards, where he'd like to be. This has been a really, really good bounce-back performance. He said he had this game circled.
Here's Kadee in the corner, firing unsuccessfully. Inside the last 5 minutes, Hawks back on top here by 15.
I needed that. Yeah. Good look. Good pass from Cal. Went in, came back out.
So Robinson, this is outside, and it is all happening for the Hawks now. Not only have they steadied the ship, it's back to 18 as Clark knocks down the triple.
That's what they can do. Just playing with this kind of pace where they can just put some serious points up in no time.
Up the floor quickly, the pass just a little too much on it for Lockie Ulbrich.
Well, how quickly it can turn. That hit from Kadee would have kept them in touch, and then on the very next possession, a splash from Gary Clark. Now it's out to 18.
7 unanswered points in 90 seconds. They've answered the challenge here from Adelaide. 4:17 left on the clock. As I mentioned, rare to have a triple-double. The last one we saw was in January this year. Last season, of course, Xavier Cooks, none in 2022. And just the 4 in 2021. So Trey Kell goes back to Cadee. Hawks done a good job of controlling Humphries in the second half. That's an outstanding move as he adds to his tally on cue. Up to 26, had 20 at the main break. So Humphries equals his season high, which came against Perth back in round 4. Now has his career high in his sights. Offensive rebound came there to Blanchfield.
Talk about Justin Robinson, 19 points. He's been terrific. It's AJ Johnson. Good defense there, but another offensive rebound.
Shot clock. Albrecht needs to get it off quickly. Does successfully.
That man right there has been super quiet for his dominance. Right, Gary Clark has 14 and 11.
Here's Humphries, quick release, off the mark. Blanchfield the rebound.
Make that 14 and 12, sorry, with 3 assists and 2 steals. He's been enormous.
Rebound count 40-37 overall in Adelaide's favour. Inside the last 3 minutes. And the Hawks have done a good job of this after found themselves down at half-time. Big third quarter. And challenged here in the fourth, but found some answers as Johnson came up empty. Humphries couldn't control it. The big man is certainly fatigued. He's played 32 minutes here. Isaac Humphries. And again, Hawks happy to slow it down here. Johnson now puts his foot on the accelerator. Albrecht, the offensive rebound, couldn't complete it from close range. Good contest for the loose ball, and Adelaide will get up for an easy layup. Cadee adds to his tally. He's got 7 in the game after having 2 at the half.
Well, the young fellas, Johnson. Oh, geez, that's a big hit. Quickly apologises for Subic, helps Swackle the Bullock up.
Now, here we are, Liam, you asked for us. So 16, 9 and 9 for Trey Kell. So we're going to get a timeout here. 16, 9 and 9. That is an enormous game.
Well, at this point, he's on the watch. I'm willing to go there now.
As long as he stays on the floor, someone's going to tell him.
We got that to look forward to. Also, a big game up in Cairns between the Taipans and Melbourne to look forward to. And Joe Healy is there.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Big game here in Cairns. New Year's Eve. The crowd are absolutely pumped. It is a sellout. It's going to be a party atmosphere, so cannot wait for it. It's a big game for the Taipans. They're, of course, coming off that loss to Sydney, and they need to keep winning if they want to be there at the business end of the season. As for Melbourne, they are flying at the top of the ladder, but they did go down to the Taipans last time they met, and that is still at the forefront of their mind. Tip-off not too far away. Back to you.
Thanks very much there.
Oh, it's always a fun night. I love these New Year's Eve games we have on the schedule. The Hawks, the Taipans, the smaller market teams, they have these big games on their schedule. Big crowd. This one's packed out at the Wynn Entertainment Centre. The Taipans, they sold out a day or 2 ago. And it's always a good night.
5,226 in the house at Wollongong. Big crowd for them. And New Year's Eve last year, Cairns beat Adelaide by 3. And as we know with the Taipans, never a dull moment. So stick around for that. You will see some good entertainment.
Waited this whole fourth quarter for Liam to officially put Trey Kell on the watch. But 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 of them offensively, and 9 assists. He has fought very hard. But again, as I said, the most impressive thing about that, 0 turnovers. Hard to do. You have the ball in your hands that much.
Of course, they're trailing by 14. 2 minutes to go, so it would be slightly hollow if you got it, for sure. Meanwhile, that man in the process of notching up yet another win. This will be 5 of their last 7 in the win column.
He's been impressive, Matt Russell.
Absolutely, the Hawks have had plenty of contributors tonight, and they're going to go on and win this, you'd imagine, from here and join the New Zealand Breakers at 7 and 9, and that is in 6th position. That is the play-in position. Who would have thought 7 games ago the Hawks would find themselves in this position? A big game coming up for them next Friday against South East Melbourne as they finish with authority Adelaide, but this will be about the Hawks. Can they match that big win against South East Melbourne in Gippsland not too long ago?
That's 10 assists as well, Matt. So we're on this triple-double watch definitely now.
I tell you what, that last missed free throw from Todd Blanchfield, Trey Kell just let someone else grab it. You've got to go after that.
He's got 16, 9 and 10 now. Kell, good finish from Galloway.
"97 seconds just to find..." He got the hardest one out of the way, right?
Margin at 12. We started this quarter, Hawks up 18. So they look for their 7th win of the season, as Matt Russell said. Shot clock rolls down to 5. Alpert, baseline, double teamed. Shot clock about to expire. That's after the event. It's not going to count if it does go down.
It's great defense. Scramble mode, everybody flying around helping each other. A little bit of pressure here and there, and yeah, they get a turnover. Just show those little glimpses of when they get up and in and try and dictate something on the defensive end. They get some good stops.
Outside, Galloway gets an open look. He knocks down the 3. They cut the margin to single digits.
And they're getting up the floor.
Inside the last 60 seconds. Hawks milk the clock here. Reaching in, foul going to be called on Adelaide. They still have another to give. It's called on Alex Starling. Hawks, what a bounce back it's been. And another quick foul called on Galloway here, so free throws to come. Hawks 2 and 7 on the bottom of the ladder at the end of round 7. Looking grim, and since then, well, they have really been able to turn it around on the back of Justin Tatum has done, looking for a 5th win in 7 games. And one of those losses was by a point when Clark had a shot to win for them. So,
yep, the loss to Brisbane. They are roaring, and Tatum has brought tremendous energy to them. He's keeping them accountable, but he's keeping them confident, aggressive, playing a great style at both ends of the floor, and they're flying now. The Hawks, the Breakers, a couple of teams who have had tough seasons, and right now they're up and about.
Starling bumped by Albrecht will be called to his 4th personal.
Well, Trey Kell's racking up the dimes. He's got 11 dimes. Finds Starling here. He's going to go to the free throw line. He's going to make it 12. That'll be the 2nd most assists in a single game by any player this season.
That's rare air, isn't it? McCall with 15. Shannon Scott, Will McDowell-White with 11. Denzel Valentine, Bryce Cotton, Jalen Adams, Pat Miller, all with 10. And margin at 9 once more as the Hawks zigzag the ball up the floor.
I don't think he's going to get one for that, because I don't know if Starling was official. Oh my. There it is. There's the triple-double for Trey Kell. What a performance.
Big night for him, but an even bigger night for the Illawarra Hawks here on New Year's Eve. Vasiljevic telegraphed the pass. It's cut out by Blanchfield. He's coughed it up under pressure, and Vasiljevic adds another 2 to his tally. He's up to 17.
They've fought hard, and they've just again shown glimpses of what they could potentially do, but that is just an outstanding individual performance in a losing effort, no doubt. But the Hawkies, they're up and about.
It's been impressive to watch. They look for the finishing touches here. Blanchfield on the buzzer, puts a bow on it. Oh, what a performance from the Illawarra Hawks. Have now won 5 of their last 7 games, and they are eyeing a spot in the play-in tournament. And they've got here by double figures over the Adelaide 36ers. Full time, it's Illawarra 94, Adelaide 84.
Well, great job from the Hawks. Great reward for the Hawkheads. We're always looking for, you know, the Wollongong, the people of Wollongong, come out and support this Hawks team. There's Vasiljevic telling Justin Tatum he's doing a tremendous job. And they closed this game out. They got the 36ers asked some questions at times, but the reality is the Hawks had all the answers. And a double-digit win is, oh, hold on, they're not going to count that final triple. So a 7-point win and New Year's celebrations to follow for the people in the goal.
And again, I think the thing that Justin Tatum will like is there's still plenty to work on, right? So as long as you keep winning during this process and just that trajectory to get to where they want to get to, and as we mentioned, this is the beauty of the play-in tournament. You just got to keep chipping away, and if you're playing your absolute best basketball and you sneak into 5th or 6th spot, anything can happen. It's a whole new ball game. So credit to him, but credit to this team because they looked like they were going to be winners a long way out, and Adelaide just hung around. They did enough to get the win.
10 scorers for them as well. Just emphasises what you're saying, Pete, about a team effort.
For sure. And that third quarter in particular, you know, it was a 1-point game at halftime. Trey Kell was tremendous. 16 points, 10 boards, 12 assists. The first triple-double of the season, so shout out to him. Isaac Humphries was very good. 20 first-half points, finished with 26 at over 50%. But they didn't have enough to overcome this Hawks team that's flying right now.
Let's get some reaction courtside with Matt Russell.
Yeah, the Footlocker player of the game, Gary Clark. I'll get to his numbers in a moment, but Gary, for the 5th game in a row, you win the second half. Your response to trailing at halftime was fantastic. What did you like most?
Just our resilience. You know, coming from the bottom, you know, every win's a win for the Hawks. It's been a long time for us, you know, this club to be able